Hello, everybody. Welcome to Drip Drop Distro Studio. I want to thank y'all for being here. I want to thank everybody at the table for being here. To my direct left, we have a legend, an innovator, Troy Palmer, one of the owners here. Next to him, we have Motu, known by some as Matthew, but he's Motu in the Drip Drop house. And then to my right, I have the cold call murderer, Douglas Campbell. So we're going to go ahead and get started here, and I'm going to start off with Troy Palmer. So Troy, tell us about yourself and what got you started inside of business in general, not just Drip Drop, but business.
Well, I was kind of raised in a self-employed environment. My dad was a painting contractor, and that's kind of where I got started in life as a 23-year-old. Started my first company back then, and then in '08, when everything went bad, I kind of transitioned into the counterculture industry, and haven't looked back. Love the industry, love the people in it. It's a very non-judgmental industry, very accepting industry, and so just enjoying every day we do it around here. The people I work with are great. We got a great group of people that are on board.
Did you feel like you were being judged in the painting industry or something? You know what I mean? You were lacking?
You know.
Were you good? Not good?
Yeah, we did good.
He was the best painter on the planet.
We did good. It's a young man's game.
Yeah, Troy's a lot older than he looks, just so everybody knows. He's about 70.
It was time to turn to the next chapter of my life, and I'm glad I did it. Never regret it.
Well, we're glad you did too, Troy. Troy's actually my mentor. He kind of brought me into this. Doug as well, so is Motu. But Troy, I've known for the longest. I watched him, grow, and I watched him build an empire inside of the vaping world before this even got started. And I appreciate Troy a lot. He's done a lot of really amazing stuff out here. Next up, Motu. What got you started in business in general?
It's a long story. What got started in this industry is freaking seeing this knucklehead and Chicky at the gym. But I've been in the C-store industry for going on like 12 years. Got out of prison in 2010 and was fortunate and lucky that I got to name an energy shop brand and help grow it nationally. And then the next phase was to jump in here with these two guys and take Drip Drop to the next level. So
yeah, you came from Rhino Rush. I know a lot of people out there know that already, but some people don't. Rhino Rush has been a monster brand. It's still rolling. I know that it's your love child, it's your baby, and we're happy to have it here. It's phenomenal stuff.
Rhino Rush is happy to be here.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Douglas Campbell, over to you, you lunatic. What were you doing before you got here?
Oh, God. So I have a similar background like Troy. My dad was a home builder and a land developer, and was mentored by my grandfather, R.T. Campbell, who's a architect, visionaire. Been in sales basically my whole life. I attribute a lot of my hustle to my mom's side. My dad's, had the hustle as well, but my mom was a little bit more blue collar, boots on the ground. Just basically worked really, really hard. And how I ended up in this industry was Troy and Mark Ciccarillo. I was the real estate agent, and we all met playing poker, and they thought I'd be a good fit for running a national sales team for them at the time. And I did it, and it changed my life. I mean, I was always really good face-to-face sales. And I took a leap of faith with letting Mark and Troy manipulate me to get behind a phone, and I showed up on a
Twisted his arm.
I showed up on a sales floor that they had kind of hijacked. That these guys were selling tools, and man, these guys were good, and a lot of these guys, some of these guys are in the industry, and they're still good. And I like to think that I got better than the guys that actually mentored me. Not to say that they're still not killers, because they are.
Yeah, we know a lot of those guys still, right?
Yeah, and they're still around, and they do a damn good job at what they do. And I like to think that I just iron sharpens iron, and it changed my life. And I've always kind of partook in some of these products as a consumer. I did a lot of things that were pretty colorful when I was a kid that's led me to be here. But I think this is the best industry that we're in, and it's finally starting to get its shine. And it's kind of been very interesting watching the Core-Marks and the 7-Elevens and the Circle Ks and all these guys that have basically told us no, down boy, down. And now they're hungry for the things that we offer. So a lot of good things with what we're doing here at Drip Drop and the industry in general.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. The most exciting part about all this is that the counterculture is becoming very mainstream, and it's like that across the board. It's like that with the cannabis industry. It's like it with the vaping industry, and these alternative products, have been ran through the mud, and they've been trashed and drugged through the media in a negative light. But a lot of people aren't looking at them as just a product, or they are looking at them as just a product, and that's the problem. The counterculture brings jobs, it brings sales, it brings money, it stimulates everything that the American economy needs. So it's kind of awesome to see it grow the way it has and kind of bloom into what it is now. So let's get into your guys' roles here a little bit. All three of you are owners, but you all bring very different skill sets, like
That's what works
to the
about
table. Yeah, and it's been an incredible dynamic. It's not a bunch of guys that all are in the same headspace. You guys butt heads a lot, which is fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, hold on. These two.
Yeah, Motu's probably the most agreeable between the three of you. It's we know Doug. Doug's the bull.
Headstrong.
Yes.
We like to say.
But what value do you bring, Troy, to the table that these guys are lacking in, that makes this work the way it does?
Yeah, Troy.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest here.
Well, I mean, for me, I've ran some pretty good sized companies over the years, and I've dealt with big personalities, employees that have big dreams and visions, and lots of times they're bigger than they can really muster up, and especially in sales departments.
Sure.
But I've never felt that way about Doug and Motu. They both do what they know they need to be doing, and we just work together really well as a team. And for me, I'm the CEO of Drip Drop, and I'm basically just making sure the bills get paid, making sure money's coming in, making sure that we have new products, new ideas, new directions, new things that we can work towards. And we've done a lot of manufacturing in the past. We're not currently doing that anymore, but
Yep.
So that's kind of left kind of a hole in my heart to some
I know.
extent.
I couldn't agree more. We miss that
Because
dearly.
the manufacturing side
Yeah.
is a fun piece of what I'm good at.
Yep.
But I think we got some new SKUs and new things that we're bringing to market down the road here that I think will change that environment again for us. That
Sure.
And get back into some of that to some extent. Not kratom related, but other types of products.
Yeah.
Rhino Rush, obviously, when Motu came on board, we were not intending to buy that brand, but after he came on board, me and him had a conversation, and that's all I thought about that night. He didn't even say it was for sale, but he just told me that he was having a hard time, and I came in the next morning, and he just basically said, would you be interested in buying Rhino Rush? And I said, I've been thinking about it all night, actually. And so we were able to talk to the owner, the guy that had it, second owner, I should say, and work out a deal with him, and we're the third owner, aren't we? Or we're the fourth? Oh, wow.
But it's in the best hands it could be in now. So
Yeah, I deal with the non-fun stuff, contracts, MDAs, negotiations, pricing, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, you're
But it's
running your
not
head
so
to a
fun.
wall all day while these
Yeah,
guys have
pretty
all
much.
the fun. They're rock stars. They get to go on the road.
Yep.
Everybody showers them with champagne and confetti, and you have to stay back and drag the weight of the company.
That's
behind.
all right.
Yeah, no.
That's how I prefer it.
Yeah,
They're way better talkers than I
Sure.
ever could be.
Yeah, you're more refined, and we need something. We need somebody with some solidarity, making sure that this place doesn't burn down. And you guys can't do
Did
that.
you slip him a 5 before
No,
this thing started?
He does decide whether I get raises, though. So. He's decided that for a lot of years, and so I got to make sure that keeps happening. So next, same question for Motu. What do you bring to the table here that these guys maybe aren't super strong in?
So I am the lead custodian of Drip Drop Distro.
Keep saying that, and you're going to pick up a mop.
I already carry a mop, sucker. I think what was super awesome about coming to Drip Drop was these two have an amazing dynamic, right? And when I came, the two of them would end up in locks, right? Doug's idea versus Troy's idea and vision. And so I thought one of the most amazing things when I came to Drip Drop was watching it. Because at the end of the day, one of them had to give, right? Because at the end of the day, it was what was best for Drip Drop that mattered, right? It wasn't what was best to Doug or what was best to Troy. And so for me, it's been an amazing journey to watch these two, right? Because they have amazing business acumen. Doug has to be one of the best salesmen I've ever met in my life, right? And so Troy's ability to lead and lead people has been amazing to learn and understand, right? Because I never led people. I've never been in a position as an equity shareholder of anything. And so it was just super awesome for me to come in and try to add value to that, right? And so when I came in, right, it was kind of understand where can Drip Drop go from where we were, right? And in 2020, that was the biggest year, right? One of the biggest years, right? Biggest growth from 2019, and it was a COVID year, and Drip Drop had still smashed it. Doug was still living on the road. Hey, man, you were supposed to silent that, bro. For all the listeners.
Doug never stops working, just for everybody out there.
He's so tempted to answer that.
Yeah. He needs to put it in his pocket, please. One thing that a lot of people, when they think of business, they don't think so much of operations. It's more so, money, dollars, ching. But something for everyone out there to know is that we have like actual legends running this warehouse. There's people out there that are phenomenal. They have decades and decades of experience. Jim and Jackie, of course.
Background bodybuilding.
Yes, they ran bodybuilding.com.
Jim ran a whole fleet of HP.
Yeah, he's an electrical engineer, worked a bunch of years at HP, and they're incredible people. And then Jackie brings all the she's on the floor, cracking the whip. Absolute animal, and it's really incredible. Everybody else does a great job as well.
Yeah, but not to mention in the marketing department, you have Ryan and Quincy that came from some big stuff, and then you also have Ernie that we just added on, and then you got Kyle that actually we poached out of the industry. We have some really big talent here for sure outside of just this table.
Yeah, legit.
And we've been building a dream team, and that's what we've been doing.
Yeah. So same question to you, Doug. And I feel like everybody kind of knows Doug is the sales guy. I don't know if anybody's. I sat through. I didn't have a lot of experience watching salesmen do their thing until I met Doug, and I got to see some of the best people in this valley. I sat in the same room and listened to them. I was never interested, really. I'm not good at that kind of stuff, but I watched a lot. Some of the best salespeople in the valley I got to listen to and sit and watch. And I had never seen anybody talk or close things or also just offer the service that I got to see you kind of do through all these years. And it's really something to behold. And talk about that. Talk about your approach to sales, I guess.
I've always, I was a waiter when I was a kid. I sold a lot of weed when I was a kid. A lot of people know that.
Yes, sir.
I've always been a front of the house guy, and I always try to partner up with myself with back of the house guys. And what I mean by that is like in the restaurant format, a lot of waiters and stuff. Oh, I'm just a waiter, and they don't realize that they're actually a salesperson. You guys are selling specials, adding desserts, adding, entrees and different things, or moving people through a menu. But, you could have the best waiter on the planet, but if you don't have good food coming out of the kitchen, doesn't mean anything, and tips are everything. So, when I say back of the house, there was two people that were never better than, in my personal opinion, especially in this space, but in any space that I ever got into that I would have behind me, which would be Troy and then also Mark. And so I identify that really well. I'm not strong on the manufacturing side. I'm not strong on the distribution side as far as logistics and stuff goes. So I always try to partner myself up with somebody and be the front of the house.
Yeah.
And that's what I do, And, I only want to do sales. I love sales. Sales is an evolving trade, just when you think that you know it all. And I've been around the block a few times in it. I'm 44 now, so I can say that, even though I still feel like I'm pretty young. It's an evolving trade, and the second that you think you know it all is when the second that you get burned. And I always like to tell people when, they say stuff like, how gracious you are to me and saying I'm the best sales guy that you've seen and stuff. I appreciate that. You're not the only person that's told me that, and I do have an ego, and I like to fan it a little bit. But the reality of it is I think of all the guys going, you know, that I've had next to me, older, younger, even guys that we have now today that I still learn from. And, you know, I always say that it's never a fair fight when people are negotiating against me because it's about 40 against 1.
Yeah.
And I have about 40 motherfuckers around me on my belt that I've taken something from. And, you know, I've learned a lot of things from Motu. I've even learned a lot of things from sales from Troy, you know, even though Troy doesn't think he wears a sales hat. And it's just I'm a yarn ball, man, and I, you know, when I see something that works, I'm gonna run with it. And you know, aggression pays, and I don't think there's one person that's gonna listen to this podcast that's ever done business that didn't fucking feel aggression when it came to me on it. I don't feel bad about being aggressive. I don't feel bad about being pushy because I know we always do the right thing. I know the products that we sell move. I know the products that we move bang. So I don't feel bad doing it. I don't feel like a slimy salesperson doing it.
Just push them into making
you know,
a good decision.
all I'm doing is trying to get him off the fence. All I'm trying to do is show him the money, and I've been doing that. And you know, that's why I surround myself with good products, good people, good service. And we always do what's right every time, even if it's at the detriment of our wallet. That's Drip Drop. You know what I mean? There's not one person in this fucking industry that can say Drip Drop Distro fucked them. And if they do, bring them to me. 208-703-3453. Call me. Okay? I'd love to hear it. There's not one person out there because we don't fuck people. We don't have to.
No.
Okay? We take the hard road. We don't take the shortcuts. And that's what we do. You know what I mean? And we've been doing it, and we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And I've been watching it happen for all these years, and you're not lying. I've seen us rectify situations that made warehouse employees pull their hair out, people freak out, you know. But it's no bullshit. Doug makes it right, Motu makes it right, Troy makes it right, and Drip Drop makes it right no matter what. And yeah, it's a phenomenal place. It really is.
Our reputation's everything. Though.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
our
is.
reputation is everything. We care about the cloth of the men that we are. You know, we're a family business. We're a second chance company. We've helped a lot of people. There's a lot of people that have helped us, you know, along the way. All of our customers, I don't care if they were one store in Kentucky or if they were the biggest distro on the planet, you know, they all helped build us on who we are, and they all gave us a chance when we were nobodies, and we're greatly appreciative of that. And yeah, we want more, you know, and we're leveraging that stuff. We're leveraging that reputation. We're leveraging, you know, all of the history that we've put down the last 6 or 7 years since we've been back together. And the saga continues, man. There's no other place I'd rather be than right here.
Yeah, I've never been more excited with all the things going on in this building, the opportunities that we're working on, and ideas and systems, and it's pretty cool.
Yes, it is. And I want to touch on something that you mentioned there because it's really interesting. And it's kind of, I can't say it's unique to us, but it's unique to my experience in the workforce. You said we're a second chance, third chance, fourth chance company. And that's something that's extremely true. I've been here since the beginning, and I've watched people come and people go, and I've watched people come back and come back and come back. And you guys are probably the most understanding and fair humans as far as people fucking up. I mean, I've never seen anything like it prior to this place. I've watched, you know, companies let people go, write them off forever, and they're dead to them. And that just doesn't happen here. And it's really incredible. I mean, sometimes even to our detriment, similar to making things right. But I want to touch on that. Why do we do that?
These two are the most loving, most fucking forgiving men I've ever met.
Yeah,
I swear, dude, you are the most kindest, most loving, most forgiving person I've ever met, Troy. And
Some
Doug,
people
you
would
fucking
think
just
I'm
love.
stupid for that, but
Just love.
I've thought you were
It's
stupid
freaking
for that
amazing.
at times. I've thought we were doing stuff you guys have shown me a lot of stuff over the years personally, and there's been times where people have walked back into the door that I was like, I cannot fucking believe this person's back in here. And it's worked out. Some of them have worked. Sometimes they don't.
doesn't.
But it's made me think about the world differently outside of this place, watching, you know, because you guys are second chance people too. And I understand that's probably what it's rooted in. You know, you guys were kind of written off and you guys were drugged through the mud. You know, I'm sure that anybody that's done business with us or anybody that's interacted with us know you guys have all been to prison. You guys have all been in trouble, and you guys came out swinging and doing the right things and grinding and building this little empire we have here in the valley. And it's really inspiring to watch people who were bashed down by society and then kind of rise out of that, continue to forgive and be understanding to people who are struggling. And it's really incredible. So
Well, for me, life's hard, and people make bad choices, and it shouldn't destroy their opportunities in life. And
Sure.
being compassionate, understanding towards people, if you know them on a level that you worked with them for a year or two, and then they went through a hard time and they fucked up, and now they're, they're out in the workforce trying to figure out what they're going to do, and they realize, I really did fuck up. I wish I would have not done that.
Yeah.
So lots of times, if they're serious about it and they understand the consequences of what they did and they get another opportunity, they'll come back and they'll actually work their ass off to do a good job for the person that gives them the opportunity again. So, I mean, like you said, it backfires sometimes. It works great sometimes. It's just it's more for me a people thing, At the end of the day, I don't ever try to write anybody off, in life.
Yeah, doors always open. I mean, I've learned that my whole life. A lot of people think that the doors are closed, and the second that you think the door is closed, you're not going to try to knock on the door again, right? And sometimes you don't knock, sometimes you kick, right? Sometimes you do different things to get to the door, but we are a second chance company, and the door isn't closed here ever. We're always willing to listen, always willing to learn, and always willing to try to move on. And so that's just kind of what we've been doing.
Yeah, I think it's a testament, right, to the fact that the three of us came from right, being knuckleheads, making the wrong decisions, and understanding that it's so difficult to weave yourself back into the fabric of your community. Right?
Yeah,
being a felon is the most difficult.
You're being walled off at every turn.
You got banks against
you. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's
the hardest.
You go serve your time, and you pay your debt to
processors
society, and then all of a sudden you can't get a damn bank loan, or you do this, or you can't get this job. I mean,
can't rent, can't get a job.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things for us when me and Troy, and then when you came on, there's a lot of really good people that you can meet in a facility, a correctional facility or federal facility, what we went to. There's a lot of bad people too. I mean, there's a lot of guys in there that I was like, I know why you're here. But the vast majority of them, I feel like...
You stay away from those ones.
Yeah,
sure.
The vast majority of them are all trying to provide, and it's just a damn shame that some of these people, I've never seen one person leave after doing time that wasn't excited about the future that they held. And they got to leave, and they were going to do this. They were going to help their mom. They're going to help their, help their spouse. They're going to help their kids. They were going to do it, and they're changed. And they did that time, and then all of a sudden they go around and apply for jobs, and it says, where have you been the last 3 years, or do you have any felonies to, you got a criminal record, and they write down there, and guess what? It goes to the dumpster, and it goes to the trash can, and it goes to the trash can, and I think society forgets that the fact that these people are trying to make it again, and they're trying to do it the right way, and everybody's going to try to provide no matter what, and they reoffend because we let them down.
Yeah, it's out of desperation a lot of times. Yeah.
Like we tattoo these people, and we stigmatize these people.
Are caused by the fact that society won't give them an opportunity to actually correct their mistakes.
Most of them, our prisons aren't built to teach us anything, right? So you're not learning anything about how to get out and stay out, right? And so the problem is you get fathers that go to prison for 5 years, right? Mom just became a father and a mother. Kids are now 5 years older, so now they're getting out and they're trying to jump back into the boat that they were before they went to prison. They have no idea how to do it. And plus they can't get a job, so they can't provide, right? They don't have a car or wheels. They can't do this. They can't do that. And so I think it's important that there's more drip drops in communities that are willing to support and bless these guys and these women that they need us more than anything.
Yeah, that's why I always say, I'll take street smarts over book smarts any day. I'll take the hustle. I'm not worried about people that, are offenders or people that have, substance problems. That means nothing to me. If you pull your job, you pull your weight, and you show up, I don't give a fuck what you do in your personal life. I have a very very high tolerance, for things that, I don't pass judgment on. Outside of hurting women and hurting kids, I got a pretty fucking high tolerance. If you want to do stuff that's self-destructive to yourself, I give two shits about it as long as you show up and pull your weight. You know what I mean? I don't need to be here to judge. I don't want nobody judging me. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of how I kind of make our decisions. And I think Troy might feel the same way, and you do as well.
Yeah, and we've seen that over the years. We've seen a lot of people that we brought in here, and depending, of course, it's not everybody, but you don't get the same thing out of any pool of people. But we've seen people come in here from those type of situations, and they have like a different era of gratefulness for what they have typically, because they are being shut off by everything else, and they work hard a lot of times, and they work hard, and they really show that they're grateful to have an opportunity to make an income and to be a part of a team. And that's kind of what I want to roll into next is, outside of the second chance, third chance type talk here, I just want to kind of go over the culture here. What do you guys think makes the employees enjoy the work here? Because our turnover is basically non-existent, and there's a reason for that. Obviously you guys are fair with wages, you guys are fair with work, with hours, you're very fair with everything. The benefits here, of course everybody's got to find something to complain about at times, but I'll kind of throw this at Motu specifically. What? Yes. Well, you're way younger than these guys. Way younger than these. What?
He's a pup. He's a pup.
Yeah. What about the culture here? Do you think keeps people here?
Love. If I'm being honest, right? I think, right, there's a lot of perks, right? A lot of love in the building, right?
Yeah.
And I think if you love your leader, right, and your leader, it's different, right? Because me and Doug are on the phones,
Yep.
right? We're working the floor, right? And maybe sometime, and we're hitting the streets, and we're at trade shows, and so there's a lot of times where companies, the leaders aren't on the front lines.
Yeah, they're hidden away somewhere.
Hidden away up on the top floor, and they're shooting out where we're here. We're on the front lines. We're grinding with them.
We're packing boxes. We're breaking down booths. We're setting up booths. We're driving cars.
And it's been, I can attest to the fact that it's been like that since day one. I've been watching.
And it's never going to change.
No.
I mean, we're going to be on the ground that way.
Yeah.
So I think it's just the culture is built around, right? Everyone knows that we're willing to do it, so they're going to do it, right? And I think we do a really good job at taking care of our people, right? They always say it's cheaper, right, to keep an employee than it is to go and hire one,
Yeah.
right? Even if that employee is asking for a raise, that's still cheaper, right? And I think we've done a really good job at taking care of everyone, right? The employee rewards program on what we do on insurance and dental and vision and
Profit sharing.
Right? We do it all because we love all of our employees and we want everyone to succeed.
Well,
we want
almost
everyone to
almost
get
at the
places.
detriment of us, you know what I mean? I mean, think about it. All the guys that we compete against, how many of them have insurance? How many of them are letting their employees
just
be in on the
insurance, like
profit?
fully covered
no, but
insurance.
it's like it's frustrating sometimes when it's all about price. In this industry, we might be aggressive, but there's also people that are on the buying side that are just as aggressive.
Sure.
And I don't think a lot of these guys understand that I got 30-something employees that all got really good benefits. I mean, shit, when we did benefits, it was like one of the biggest achievements of what we did. Me and Troy made a promise to the crew, the original crew, which was probably only about 10 people at the time, that if we could afford insurance, we were going to do it, and we did it. There's not a lot of people, I think, in this industry that are our size of our company that are even giving that to our employees, and that's at the detriment of us. The profit sharing is another thing that's at a detriment of us. And so sometimes I take it personal when people make it about price, when they don't understand what we're really doing. So, when you're out there and you're negotiating against Drip Drop, understand that you're negotiating against our families.
Yeah.
Okay? And we're offering products that turn. Right, we're offering products that move. We're offering products that already have good enough margin. We've done the math. We've been around the block a few damn times. There's enough meat on the bone for everybody. So when you come here for that 25 cents or that 50 cents on the product, remember that I got 30 employees over here that are freaking getting their insurance paid. They're getting profit sharing. Okay, are my competitors doing that? No, they're not.
And living a lifestyle where they can buy a home and buy the things in their life they need.
So if you want to be a part of our culture, this is what we're doing. And I highly recommend, one of the things that I didn't realize from coming from the real estate side when I was just an individual agent, I never ran a business like this before. I used to work for Troy, and then now I'm an owner. I put in my dues, and I stayed loyal to my camp, and I never got to see behind the curtain of how the cookie crumbles on the pricing and how the margin and the profit and how it falls down. And now that I'm seeing it, it's just eye-opening to how tough it is.
Yeah.
And I just I never saw that, and I remember being on job sites with my dad and seeing a lot of the rich developers and stuff, and they would always complain about insurance, and they would always complain about this and complain about that. And the fact of the matter is if you have anything, I don't care if you're selling dirt, I don't care if you're selling water, I don't care if you're selling cigarettes, if you have anything that's 25 or 30% or more in margin and you're moving a lot of it, you can afford medical insurance for your team. You can. You know what I mean? They don't need some government program or some subsidized program of healthcare. If you're making margin like that, I'm calling you all out, okay? I'm calling everybody out there that got businesses and stuff that are telling their employees that they can't afford insurance. If you're making anything over 25% margin on your number one SKUs, you can afford insurance. You know what I mean? And that's just a big deal for us.
Yeah, it is. And it's, and it shows, that's like, part of the culture here is there is an intense loyalty to this company, and all those pieces add up to what we consider drip drop culture. But it's also to kind of lighten it up.
It doesn't hurt the fact that we have fun around here too.
Yeah, this is a fucking wild place to work. You know what I mean? Like we have some intense characters in this building, and every day there's all this hooting and hollering and chaos. The work is getting done, but there's a lot of fucking chaos going on too. It's like orchestrated chaos, but it's chaos. Yes, it is. And I think that's when you can put a face to the head of a company as an employee, someone at the very bottom, when they see Troy or Doug or Motu walking through the warehouse, and Doug's on his phone and he's fucking yelling a bunch of crazy bullshit at somebody, and it makes everybody laugh. There's something that's very charming about that. Or you hear Motu yelling some crazy shit to Troy, and then Troy responding to Motu. It's like there are filters that we have. Obviously, there's lines that people don't cross, but it gets pretty close to nothing.
There's a reason we don't have an HR department.
Yes, we don't. Doug is that's the crazy thing. Doug's HR. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the head of HR.
Yeah. If you got a problem, you just call him, and he's gonna moderate and figure it out for you.
No, but there's a lot of crazy characters in this building, and a lot of people get to see that when we travel on the road. And I think that's why people like us, is because we have all walks of life. We have a million stories here. They're all great. There's so much adversity in this building, and there's so much second chance stuff that these guys have went through to be here. And we like to have fun. We're some damaged people ourselves, and we're really streety, we're really fun, we're very forgiving, but we like to have a good time. I don't think anybody that is out there that's ever done business with us that doesn't think that we're a fun bunch. I don't think anybody out there doesn't think that we're a loving bunch. One of the greatest things that I think that ever happened with Motu when he showed up is the fact that we pray. We're a praying company. You know what I mean? We always pray before every single one of our trade shows.
Team that prays together stays together.
Yeah, we pray together, and we watch a lot of people go through ups and downs, and we're the first people to help. I mean, we just had an employee that's incarcerated right now, and for stupid shit, nothing super to talk about. But the first thing we said is, we're not bailing him out because he needs to be there. Yep. But put the fucking money on his books. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's just the way that we are. And
are we talking about what we just found out today?
Yeah.
You guys put money on his books?
Yeah,
that's what the fuck. That's what I'm talking about. That's why. You know what I mean? We care about that guy, and everybody wanted him to help him out. And
Yeah, we love him to death, and the door's still open for him when he comes back, and we'll be here to pick him up. He was a great employee, just fell off the wagon, and
everybody wanted him here. Everybody wanted to help him. Jackie drove through town every day for 2 weeks.
I feel like one of the biggest problems that we have with, especially just drug addiction as a whole, right, is purpose, right? People just don't have purpose anymore, right? And I feel like that's one of the greatest things about Drip Drop is every day we're getting closer to building this empire, right? And we give the people that work for us a purpose, right? There's a goal, right? There's something we're chasing. There's opportunities right in front of you. And I think that it's so important for us to continue to love on the people in the building, those that are employees, those that fell off the wagon, right? Continue to give them a reason, right? A reason to want to be successful, a reason to want to be sober, a reason to want to stay out of jail, right? And that's, for us, it's important because we're out of fucking jail, right? And where we're able to offer those purposes and those opportunities for people to stay out of jail and to give them a reason to want to take care of their family, take care of themselves, I think that's important. And the only way you do that is you lead by example and you remember what it was like to be there. Yeah. Shit, I remember when I got locked up and no one put money on my books. Yep. Not one person.
You find it a lot when you get in trouble like that and you go through the door. I weeded out a lot of people that I thought were close friends that, you know, were there on the upside but not there for the downside, and I think you can say that too, Troy.
Yeah, people in general are just so judgmental in life. I mean, everyone makes mistakes. If somebody doesn't have a skeleton in their closet, I'm calling them a liar at the end of the day, because everybody makes mistakes. Everybody. And they all make choices they regret. They all make, you know, decisions they wish they wouldn't have made that change the course of their life. And everyone at this table has done that, and we've tried to learn from it and grow from it and move on.
Well, and work can be, you know, this has become, for me at least, this is like a, you know, it's a second home for me. I've slept at Drip Drop, you know what I mean? I've bled and have eaten many meals here, and it's not just me, it's everybody. It's kind of, you know, for some people out there, some people that are in a more unfortunate situation, or maybe their home life isn't the best, or maybe it's a little unstable. It's kind of mind-blowing to think that you can go to work, which is kind of generally viewed as the thing you're not wanting to do, as an escape from that world, and to make a place so dynamic and fun and inviting that there's people that walk through the door that are happier to be here sometimes than they are happy to be out there. That's a really hard and unique and rare thing to do, I think. And I truly believe that. There's myself included. There's been days where I've been happier here than out there. And you know, even on the hardest days, you know, we've been through some crazy fucking shit in this company and in this building. I mean, through the years, and the previous buildings we've been in, like, there's been a lot of changes and a lot of pivoting and a lot of.
We've had our backs against the wall a few times, and we always do the same damn thing. We come out swinging, you know what I mean? And we've had some ups and downs while we've been building this thing, and man, a lot of it's fun, man. I mean, like. You know, I like to say, man, like, we're really good problem solvers, and sometimes we create the damn problems that we solve, but, you know, that's what politicians
Can't
do.
fix them if you don't create them.
You know what I mean? And
Did you say he said sometimes? No, majority of the times. That's the only lesson that I've ever learned from Doug that probably to this day still irritates me. We're just going to create the problems. What? And we're going to fix it. I'm like, what the?
I've seen Doug create problems for us and other people many times to fix them. Yeah, that's part of his MO.
But we always fix them in the end, and it works. At the end of the day, we get more business out of the people we're fixing.
Yeah, but it's not malicious. The intent is always good, and then the reality of it is just sometimes people don't see it. Yeah. So if they don't see it, then you gotta walk the dog a little bit so that way they get to it. You gotta, and you know, we do that sometimes, but there's just so many different things and so many different angles, you know, on business, and it's just been fun learning all of it, and it's just, you know, I look forward to all the other problems that can come through the door, because I know that we're going to solve them. You know what I mean? I have all faith in how we problem solve here.
Yeah, I mean, second that for sure.
In the end, everybody in this building has the attitude that we're going to work hard as hard as we have to get whatever we got to get done. You know, whatever projects we're working on, whatever dreams we have, whatever anything, and we're all pitching in and working as a team to get those things met and figured out. You know, and that's why I have all the faith in the world with our sales team, with Motu and Doug and everyone else on our sales floor, that they're going to do the work. They're going to not just be on a phone or in an email or in a messenger. Yeah. They got to get on a plane and go do a reset or fly out to a chain and sell product and set
fly
product
out tomorrow.
Yeah, these guys are on the road like 150 days a year.
It's insanity.
And so we just try to give the best service in the industry, and I feel like we do that every day.
We do. And Doug's barely hanging in there, and he's on an airplane all the time. I don't know how he does it, how his hips haven't given out yet. But let's so I want to roll that into the next topic, which is the future. So we've talked about the past and kind of the present and the culture here, but I want to talk about what's on the horizon. So Troy specifically, I'll kind of point it at you for now, but what do you see coming over the hill? What do you see us doing in the next 2 years? What do you see us doing in the next 10 years?
Well, I mean, right now we're working on a bunch of new systems, technology, and trying to,
did it all backwards.
Integrating things like a podcast.
We built everything backwards,
That's how we do it, though.
We got the customers.
That's my favorite, though. Think about that, right? That was one of the first things Doug's. I remember when I first came, and you two were arguing about money being spent, right? They were arguing, and Doug looked at Troy and said, "This is what my dad said. Don't fucking worry about the money we're spending. Worry about the money we're fucking making."
Yeah.
And I looked at Doug and I was like, what the fuck did he just say?
More. But that's kind of your motto too, a little bit.
We fix so many problems with just selling more.
Just sell.
Yeah, Doug tells me, he's always told me that's a very similar thing, but money fixes everything.
It's this balance. It's like the front of the house and the back of the house. And, when you talk to the people in the back of the house here would basically be, the warehouse and that stuff. They think they're the most important department in here, and they are. They're an integral part of it. If you can't perform and you can't ship, you're dead, right?
Yeah.
But on the flip side of it, as me putting on my sales cap, I feel like the sales department is the most important department, and I think a lot of people feel that way, and that's why they do the things. But the reality of it is we're here for sales and we're here for revenue. And if you can't generate revenue, then you're dead. And so, sales fixes all, and that's just our business model.
Well, you guys need to keep fixing shit.
So we're working hard. We're working hard on a project right now for, sales funnel for the marketing team to work with the sales department and then social media and programs like this that we're launching and to get in front of our customers. Ernie has a saying, we're used to being face to face. Now we want to be screen to face.
Yeah.
Let people know who we are, on the national scale, because we can only do so much with the way we've been building it.
Well, I think we're ready to share. I think a lot of people also in the industry understand what we do, and I think a lot of people, when we explain it to them, it's just like what Troy always says. Why do you always tell people how you do it? Why do you tell them? And I say, because they're not going to fucking do it anyway.
They're too lazy.
Because fucking
they ain't going to do it like we do it.
Yeah, because fucking doing it means, people say, how did you guys do it and how you do this? Well, man, me and Motu travel about 150 days out of the year.
Yeah, hard work.
Hard.
Yeah,
away from your family.
Not only do we travel, we fucking sell.
Yeah, and I
sell.
I still remember when we were building this company, and I was in a warehouse somewhere, and I was dirty, and I was resetting inventory and packaging and doing stuff, and the guy was like, "Man, I already know this. I already know this brand that you guys are building is going to be one of the biggest." And I said, "Oh yeah." I remember sitting there all dirty. I was like, "Oh really? You like the product? You think it's good, huh?" And he goes, "No, man." He's like, "Are you doing this all over the country?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I haven't seen any of my manufacturing reps like this ever."
Yeah, show up.
And he's like, "And this is why I know you guys can do this." And this was a guy out of California that told us this about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Still a customer, still kicking ass, and that's what we do. And it's actually been really rewarding for us. And I know Motu can say this too. Is a lot of people know us at the trade shows. We probably have one of the funnest booths. I know we have one of the funnest crews. And
Doug's a superstar.
We tell people what we do and stuff, and then these small stores and one store over here and 5-store chain here, 10-store, 50-store, 60-store, 100-store, 200-store chains. We tell them the story of what we do, and then they see us at Champs, and our booth is always booking, and they see us at TPE, and our Champs is always booking, and then all of a sudden we're in their stores and people want to take pictures of us because they can't believe we're in their fucking store.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, I can't believe it. You guys really do this shit. Yeah, we do this shit every damn day. We play the fucking small ball. We're never going to stop playing the small ball. Okay? I want the business. I want the business from the first person that's opening up their first store. I want the business from the guys that have been around for 20 years and control, the tobacco space or the counterculture space in their markets. I want everything from there. We can service all of it. Yep. You know what I mean? And we do it all fair. We do it with all good product turns, and we do it with a smile, and we do it with a laugh. And that's what we do, and we're never going to stop doing that.
Yeah. Well, and you guys, you heard it here first. If you buy something from Doug Campbell, he'll come reset your store. So
anything.
So same question for Motu. So Troy made a good point. We're starting to kind of get into the digital age here. Podcast, marketing. Obviously, the marketing team here is a bunch of beasts, a bunch of savages.
Shit, look at this.
I know, it's unbelievable. They built this thing.
We have a podcast
Yeah,
center.
it's incredible. These guys are crushing it. So Motu, what do you see? And it could be products. It could be just the level of growth you're wanting to reach. What are you seeing in the next few years here?
Well, I think here in the near future, right, our goal in expanding not just assortment is being able to utilize technology for our growth, right? So the release of our app that we've spent the last 8 to 10 months building.
Oh, you wait till you see that thing, everybody, just so you know.
The release of our app, right? At the end of October, we're releasing our item management program. So that'll be where any retailer will be able to order something from Drip Drop, and when it shows delivered, it'll automatically update inside of their system and say they have 12 sellable units of Hush Lime, right? So being able to help and assist our retailers in being able to be more efficient,
yeah,
right?
Take some of the thinking off of them. Yeah.
Take a little bit of thinking so the things will auto reorder for them. And then probably my goal is to turn our app into more of an AI program that allows retailers to be able to dial in specifically to SKUs that sell based on their demographic, right, their age, their median household. So we'll be able to pull all of this data, right, here in about 18 months to where we'll know what actually will sell in each store, right? Because not every store is the same. So I think technology is going to be a huge piece for us as we grow and expand. And then I think it's partnering with retailers. I think one of the biggest things that no one is paying attention to, and maybe some are, right, is electric vehicles will change the dynamic over the course of the next 10 years, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting what's going on out there.
Right?
Yeah.
So as the electric vehicle gets cheaper, right, gas is going to go away slower, of course, but it's going to go away. And that means that the gas station and the C-store has to create an experience because now people are charging their cars for 15, 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, they're going to be hanging out.
And so I think preparation for what is coming, right, in these next years is important. And I think Drip Drop we're at the forefront of knowing that that's about to happen. Yeah. And so we have a lot of really cool programs that we're rolling out for convenience stores, for gas stations. I think smoke shops are going to evolve and grow. I think cannabis continues to change the landscape. And so for us, being in the accessory business is going to continue to help us evolve in that space, right? And I think we got some really cool people that we've brought over that know that space real well, and they're going to help us add value there. But at the end of the day, I think technology is going to be what changes the landscape moving forward, and I think Drip Drop's at the forefront of that.
Yeah, it truly is. I've sat in and listened to the ideas that have been being passed around, and it's some of this stuff is extremely. It's at a high level. It's a high level of vision, and if it's executed properly, which it's going to be, that's kind of part of the mantra here. We won't give up on these type of projects and push and push and push until it works. But there are changes coming. I couldn't agree more too. And people making decisions. No one wants to sit nowadays, especially with all the commodities on earth at your fingertips and being able to access any data that exists in a second. Nobody wants to sit behind a spreadsheet and look at reports and metrics and make decisions, based on punching their fingers into a calculator. That era is is going away. And to be
Quickly.
able to, yes, it is.
Quickly.
And to be able to provide something that you can click a button and it tells you what are all the best sellers or which direction your sales are trending in, without having to put any thought into it.
Yeah, and the ability for a retailer to auto pivot
Yes,
and not
it's
even have
incredible.
to make a decision on where the pivot is. We'll already have the pivot
Yeah,
ready for that.
it's like automated thinking,
100%.
automated. Yeah, it's really magnificent. And
The retail space is going to change,
Yeah,
right, dramatically
absolutely.
over the course of the next
staying
5
ahead
to
of
10
that
years.
is so
It's
important.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think especially you Motu have probably talked about it more than anybody at this table. You know, Doug's out there grinding, selling. I know you grind and sell too, but you're kind of embracing it and also trying to get ahead of it. And that's
Well,
and it's smart.
Motu's more polished, and
Yes, he is, yeah.
what I mean by that is Motu's better on follow up. That's why I'm really aggressive, is because I don't like to follow up. So I'd rather just
get it
put
done
pressure
once,
on you and
yeah.
get you sold, and then you get an invoice. But Motu's,
And then I do the follow-up.
yeah, but Motu's more structured. Motu's more, you know what I mean. He does follow up better. He's a better executive account guy than I am, so that's why he handles a lot of our biggest customers, is because he knows how to solve those problems. He understands the logistics of it, and a lot of that comes from his C-store side of it. That's one of the main reasons why we brought Motu in, not just because we love him. We've known him for over 13, 14 years.
Yep.
But the fact of the matter is he brings a whole nother component to it that we don't have. I mean, I'm old school, so, you know, I'm a face-to-face, over the phone, you know, pushy sales guy. And I don't want to change on that. You know, I get a lot of we get a lot of traction that way. But Motu can do that speed. Motu has, you know, that speed, and then the other speed that I kind of don't have, and it kind of works.
It does.
You know?
Yeah, Motu every Monday comes in and landed 17 more stores somehow. I don't
Well,
know.
what
how
about
keeps
that?
doing
He
it.
got a. We're not going to talk about everything because we can't give up the secrets.
Yeah,
but
but
he just got a 350.
Yeah, he
You know
did.
what I mean?
Literally,
And then before that, he
literally
got an
never
800
stops.
store chain.
Yeah.
So coming to a store near you.
Yeah,
Near you.
and Doug's gonna reset all of them.
Yes,
Next,
that is true.
He is. It's not.
That
That's
is
not
true.
bullshit.
It's not, we're not, but I think that's also the most important thing, right? I think Drip Drop, there's we always want to make sure that we're hands-on, because I think that's something that us as a company, we bring. That's probably the greatest value that we bring, is that we'll show up.
Yeah, we'll fly
Right?
out to you.
We will come, right? And I think it's important for a lot of retailers that we're there, right?
Sure.
Because no one's going to teach them how to sell it better than we are. No one's going to reset it better than we will.
No one's going to be more
Right?
passionate
No
about our
one's-
products
exactly.
than us.
And no one's. And there's something very, very endearing about a group, a company, a manufacturer, a distributor who shows up and talks to a store manager or a clerk and shows them some love and some appreciation and some attention.
Well, they're in the trenches. You
They
know?
are.
Everybody downplays the person behind the register, and the fact of the matter is
They're
they know,
so important.
They know
Well, it's
more about
also-
what's happening
we
on the
can't
street.
do
No,
without 'em.
a lot of these people don't. There's not a face associated with brands.
Yeah,
right.
it's just a symbol
Most of the
of some
time, it's
kind,
the
yeah.
guy that's up in the ivory tower, a person. Yep, we're gonna do it, and then all of a sudden it gets shipped to the store, and Jimmy in the store is like, I have no idea where this shit's
or
supposed
do
to go.
they even give a shit?
Yeah, or even
they
give a
might not
shit,
even
yeah.
give a fuck, you know. So to help them give a fuck, it's a big deal, you know. Same question for you, Doug. I want to move over to you. What do you see us doing in the next year or 2 or 10?
Man, it's like it's so hard to grasp, because even to be where we're at today is just crazy. I mean, shit, when me and Troy partnered back up in 2017, our first goal of the year was like $450,000
I remember
a
that,
year
yeah.
in sales, and I think we did like 720 or something. And
You almost sold the thing to somebody else
Yeah.
before we partnered up.
yeah, almost sold it.
That
to
was a
somebody
close
else
call,
to-
yeah.
Yeah, Troy told me, you know what can happen when we partner up and you run the front and I run the back, and he's true, because that's what happened
It's
the first
exactly
time.
what
And-
happened. Yeah.
And but you know, I'm really interested in what's going to happen with us, because you know, you kind of have this old school you know, history of how we built this company, just with old tactics, you know, that a lot of people don't use or are uncomfortable to use, and we use them well. And then now, you know, we have a media center, we have a media team, and we have some real good talent. And so, you know, I never even realized it until, you know, our marketing team came to us and said, you know, we're really not a marketing team, and you guys have really been building this without marketing.
Yeah.
And I remember I got floored by that. So
They're like
you
a
know,
project group.
Yeah. So where I see us in the next like year or two is, of course, we'll always still be on the ground. I don't think that'll ever change. I still feel good at 44. I think I could do this all the way into my 50s, and I think I'd enjoy doing it. I love people. I love to talk. And so
Yes, you do.
my wife's tired
The
of
fuck
me.
he
My
does.
wife's tired of me talking.
Yeah.
So I might as well go talk to someone else. And but
Welcome to the Drip Drop Podcast.
Yeah, but I think with the changing of a lot of the regulations and stuff that are going on in this industry, I think that we go mainstream. I think everybody's been talking about us going mainstream as a whole, and I just want to be ahead of that. I want to use all the the same outlets that everybody else is using. Social media, we've never really pounded it, and if I told you what our volume was yearly, I think people would look at our social media and be like, these guys are lying.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
But we've never focused on it. So I look forward to that and the technology side that Motu was talking about. I look forward to all the next new products that someone's going to create, because we have so many good creators and innovators in the space, not just in our team, but even outside in just the marketplace in general. I look forward to all the new relationships I can build, but I don't think Drip Drop's going to go anywhere. I think what we built is going to be pretty hard to unwind. I think in the initial beginning when we built this in year 1, 2, and 3, there's a few of the mistakes, if we didn't solve them with sales, would have probably crippled most.
Sure.
I think now we're in a place, with our cash flow and the type of revenue and stuff that we do, that we would probably have to make about 20 or 30 significant mistakes for us to be away. So, I'm not saying that we should get comfortable, because I think we should stay on the grind. But the fact of the matter is we're on a pretty damn good run. And I think you're going to see a lot of new things that are going to streamline your business. Whether you're that cash and carry in Michigan, or you're that, that one store owner in Tennessee, or anything in between. I think you're going to, if you're willing to listen and be at the table with us, I think you're going to be happy with the stuff that we're going to be able to provide you guys to streamline your guys' business, to make your inventory controls, more understandable and more, trackable. And I think you guys will be able to also make better decisions. There's a lot of dead product out there on these stores, man. There's a lot of people selling hype, and hype, we use hype to sell too, but the statistic history of our company has been turns, and there's not too many products that we don't sell that don't turn. Yeah. And we fight for that placement, and it's going to be interesting to see what these youngsters do, in our company, and we're looking for more of them. And we have some of our kids that are working here, and some of our family members that are working here that are young, and they're all fucking talented, and I can't wait till they get theirs. And I think some of these faces that you guys notice with us being out there, there's going to be some other faces, and these guys are ready. You know what I mean? And it's going to be awesome to see some of these guys rise up.
Yeah, it's truly a family affair at this point. It's always been very friendly, and even without being blood related, everybody here has always felt like family, especially to me. And to touch more on that, I think that kind of the name of the game is diversifying, and I think that's what's going to probably. And as far as this is something we talked about last week a little bit, but to touch on it again, there's a lot of stores out there. There's almost 2 lanes. There's like kind of the counterculture specific shops, cigarettes and dispensaries and novelty stores, and then there's like the C store chains. There's gas stations and whatnot. To blend the products right now, you're starting to see marijuana or cannabis pipes in a gas station. You're starting to see candy bars in a dispensary. It's kind of we're starting to blend the lines that divide these avenues of product movement. And I think our company diversifying is very important. I think none of your industries are safe. Doug Campbell's going to get a piece of it and sell it. So don't get comfortable. He'll sell anything. He'll sell bananas. He'll sell pencils. He'll sell toothpicks. He doesn't give a shit. So if you feel like you're comfortable and there's nobody like Doug Campbell in your space,
and you think you are the best toothpick seller ever,
doesn't matter. Yeah, we have so
you
much.
Have a good product.
We have
Otherwise we're coming for
we
you.
have so much empty vertical space in this warehouse. We're looking to fill up with everything you're selling, and Doug's gonna sell it. I don't give a shit. So, Motu as well. Doug's just he's the killer.
I don't need you to say anything.
Shut
I
up.
know you're going to say stuff and it's okay, but I got this. And I try to hold my tongue, and I go into these meetings and I let him run the point.
It's a setup.
And
Just
and I just want to punch him when I'm watching him sell. And the funny thing is, we get in the car and we always have the check. And the same thing goes on the other foot. Is Motu's like, I don't understand why you talk to people that way, and I don't understand why you're so pushy. But did we get the business?
100%.
We got the business.
Dude, there was this one time he was on the phone with this customer, and the customer said, "Go fuck yourself, Doug." And Doug said, "Oh my gosh, you just gave me a hard on." No one talks to me like that except for my wife.
I've heard
No one talks to me like that except for my wife.
That stopped him in his tracks, didn't it?
And the dude was like, "What?" And Doug goes, "I'm gonna give the phone to Motu
Well,
so
I
he
didn't
can
say
finish
give me
the
a hard
order."
on. I said, you just made my dick hard. And the dude goes, what?
And then he
But
goes,
did we
"I'm gonna-"
close him?
Yeah, he goes, "I'm gonna give the phone to Motu so he can take your order." And I took the phone. And he goes, "All right, brother." And I was like, "What? That fucking works."
Yeah, it works, man. It's uncanny.
I could tell stories like that for days.
Yeah,
we got a lot.
I've heard Doug viciously offend people and close them immediately. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, I try not to offend people. It's not my point or my
course
logic. But the main reason and the method to my madness is it's all aggression, right? And I would feel bad about it if I didn't have a good product. You know, it's like the guys that sell the Kirby vacuums, right? Like, I don't know if anybody has a Kirby vacuum. I still have mine. It's 13 years. I love it. We still use it. And those guys are so freaking good at their sales, and they pound on your door like Jehovah Witnesses on a Saturday morning, right? But they have a killer product. So I don't feel bad about the weapons that I use when I'm trying to get business, because I just need them to jump.
Are we not gonna end on a Doug story?
Should we end on a Doug story?
Give us a story, Oos. Give us a story.
What do you guys want?
What's your best trade show story?
Oh, fuck.
Not the knee one.
Don't do the name.
We have a best trade show story. I'm talking about Doug's best trade show story.
Oh, what about the one when I just got caught bribing the union guys?
Oh, you freaking dick.
So,
Oh, dude, this freaking story sucks, bro.
well, it sucks.
It wasn't good for us.
So we mentioned this before, but I always do setup and tear down. It's a lot of work. If you guys have ever seen our booths, we've grown from a 10 by 10 booth, and it was still a lot of work then, but it's now bigger work because they're like 20 by 50s and 20 by 40s. And so most of these convention centers we go to are union people, and they're running the forklifts and stuff, and we've been on our feet all damn day, and so I've been bribing union forklift guys for.
We'd like to call it blessing.
Yeah, blessing. There you go. Yeah, that's a good thing. And so
For favor.
So it was like one of the rare occasions where I actually took a dinner, a business dinner thing with some clients. They wanted to take us out to dinner, and I had to go, so I wasn't going to be able to do the tear down, and I hate doing that because I want to be there with my team doing it. And so I felt that it would, I'm going to go and I'm going to set them up to make sure they get we get our containers and stuff before everybody else. So I'm at the back of the convention center, and I grab a forklift person and stop them, walk right in front of them. They got their headsets on, and I walk up and I stop this lady, and I said, hey, if you grab booth, blah, 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 I'll give you $100. And the lady looks at me and she smiles and she says, I ain't taking nothing from you, honey. My boss is right behind you. And I turn around and I see the boss with the clipboard organizing all the forklifts. And I said, I'll give you $100 too. And then there's a security guard behind the person, and he's watching it. So I'm like, okay, I gotta lube all of them here.
Yeah, you're gonna have to grease
and
them.
I'll give you $100 too. And they're like, oh, it doesn't work that way, and da 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 da. It does work that way. I just happened to get caught in the crowd. Yeah. And then the sad part about it is they pulled our fucking booth fucking thing last when we should have been first or close to first anyways. And Motu and those guys did the breakdown, and they literally didn't get back until like 12:30, 1 in the morning. And Motu's like, I know you've been doing this, and it's been helping us, but don't ever do it again.
No more blessing, people.
Doug, you can't win them all. So one more time, we appreciate you guys' time. Follow us at Drip Drop Distro on Instagram. Like us on Facebook. www.dripdropdistro.com. Come buy something.
Buy something.
Yes.
And thanks for all the new customers that have been signing up on the website.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people, and this is our first episode, and I just want to say to anybody that's bought from us in the last 6.5 years, because that's where we are from 2017. Thank you for your business. I mean, we can sit here and gloat about how good we think we are and how good we know we are, but the reality of it is you guys all built us, and you guys all gave us an opportunity, and you guys gave us that second chance, and I'm forever grateful for that. And but don't get comforted in, because we still want more.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And we're still coming, but we're going to bring value, and we're going to bring revenue, and we're going to bring a lot of fun.
Yeah, so not only go to the website, www.dripdropdistro.com. Once you register, you can download our app. It's in the Google Play Store or even in the iStore. So go download the app, link it to the same email you register with, and tinker with it. It's amazing. Efficient in ordering.
It's even got a barcode scanner on it, right?
Code scanner, you have all your tracking in there. The app's amazing.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, I think on these next episodes, we're going to be giving up some nuggets to retailers and stuff on things that we see that people are doing wrong, things that we see that people are doing right. I'd love to share all that stuff. I'd even love to share some of our sales tactics and stuff too, just with some other people to help in the industry. So
Sure. Well, yeah, once again, thank you guys, and we love you, and goodbye.